I'm Pranav and I'm studying for a Bachelor of Engineering degree in Computing at Imperial College London.
Hi, my name is Hassan.
I'm Adam and I'm studying Image Computing with the Artificial Intelligence specialization. I'm currently in my second year.
I'm currently in second year.
I'm currently a second year computing student at Imperial College, studying on the 4-year MNG course. I'm from the UK, currently living at home in London.
I'm from Prague, Czech Republic.
I'm Indian by citizenship. I lived in various cities across India for 14 years. However, I currently reside in Bangkok, Thailand. I would say reading takes up a solid chunk of my spare time. I enjoy reading everything from tech news to general world news, history, science fiction, and even just random articles on Wikipedia. I also enjoy playing strategy games and exploring places around the city.
Some of the things I do in my free time, I do a lot of gaming, mostly like playing RPG type games. I also read a lot. I'm a huge fan of sci-fi and fantasy. My favorite author at the moment is Brandon Sanderson, highly recommend. And of course my passion is computing, and I often have some project or other that I'm working on in my free time.
I like reading and I also like to contribute to collaborative projects, mainly those operated by the Wikimedia Foundation, such as Wikidata and Wikipedia.
We've been working on an app called Icon Guidelines in collaboration with the Icon team, which is a team of junior doctors from the NHS.
So the goal of our project is to enable junior doctors to effectively ask questions and receive answers from their seniors at the NHS, while also being able to keep up to date with the latest published guidelines and advisories.
The Icon Guidelines project was one of our projects that were originally proposed to us by the department, and we were immediately interested in it, mainly because we felt that we could really help solve a real-world problem, and that the application we would develop could make a difference for doctors who are now working under especially hard conditions during the coronavirus crisis.
So in terms of technologies, we've been using React Native to build the mobile app with Python and Flask on the back end. React Native has been pretty great overall, easy to build for Android and iOS, and it's got some useful features that allow us to deploy over-the-air updates to users from our CI/CD pipeline, bypassing any of the app stores, which is really useful. I think this app can be really useful for the Icon team. They've given us a pretty good idea of the problems they've faced doing what they do, and we've tried to develop something that can genuinely help them overcome some of these challenges. I think it really adds a stronger connection between junior doctors and the team through things like personal notifications, and it also just makes it easier for the team to do their jobs, hopefully just reducing the amount of work for everyone involved.
We have had the opportunity to work with several doctors from the Imperial College Healthcare NHS Trust who have helped guide the development of our project so that it best suits their needs. These people include, but are not limited to, Georgina Phillips, a junior doctor at St. Mary's Hospital and a member of the Icon team, Chris Harrow and Louisa Phillips, both junior doctors.
We think that it is really useful and encouraging to be working with real doctors on our project because their feedback is really crucial for guiding our development and also for ensuring that our application is best suited for their needs. I think that during our recent meetings we really grew to understand the background of our users, their work, and also the setting they are at. For instance, we learned that many of the NHS hospitals don't have reliable internet signal, and so we adjusted our application to be caching some of the most important documents so that they can be accessible offline. And I believe we may not have figured that out if we didn't actually speak to real doctors and learn about their problems. I also think that it is very satisfying to be working on an application that may actually be used in the future, and that may make work of doctors who are doing incredibly important jobs slightly easier.
This is the main screen of our application. Here, the doctors can see all of the latest updates and guidelines, as well as those that are currently the most popular. They can also access the details of a certain guideline, including all of the attached files. Administrators also have the ability to delete revisions of a guideline, as well as to supersede it, for instance, if they have information about a new treatment of a certain medical condition. All users are also able to access a history of a guideline, for instance to see what changed between different revisions. When the doctor is viewing an old guideline, they are alerted of this fact by a badge at the top of the screen. This means that they can never accidentally use obsolete information for treatment. Doctors can also save certain guidelines and post to their favorites, which then appear on a separate section of the home screen. These posts are available even when the device is offline, including all of the attached files. Junior doctors can also use our application to ask questions to more senior staff. These questions then appear in a separate section of the application, where the doctors can easily track which of their questions have already been answered and which are still awaiting response. When a question is answered, the post that answers the question is readily available from the screen as well. Doctors can also browse all of the questions that have been asked in the past, for instance to avoid asking a duplicate question and to find further answers. All the guidelines in the application are accessible through a system of categories, so that doctors can easily access guidelines that are related to their area of expertise. Of course, we also allow a full-text search for guidelines. For instance, I can search to guidelines related to anticoagulation.
We've been meeting with our users regularly over the past few weeks and just discussing our progress and looking at the stuff we've implemented, changes we've made and stuff like that. We usually get them to do a few tasks in the app and look at how they interact with it and get them to give feedback as they go through it. We've had some great feedback. The overall sentiment from them is quite positive, which is always really encouraging and really motivates us to keep working on this. And we've had some great suggestions for new features and improvements that we can make. For example, being able to send personal notifications to users when their questions have been answered. That's one suggestion that we've had. And just we've had some great positive feedback, and I think they really like it.
No, I think it's so good. I think the simplicity is just its best feature, to be honest. Because it's just like, I noticed on the drop down menu in the top left, the 3 bars, you don't need anything else.
We plan to continue development of our project by adding new features and fixing bugs until it reaches a suitable state. After that, we plan to hand it over to the Department of Computing at Imperial College London for further maintenance and development. We hope that eventually it will be used by the NHS and be of assistance to doctors across the entire trust.
I have an internship lineup at Netcraft that will probably be focused on their system for combating phishing and online fraud. That will likely need to be done remotely given the recent situation, so I believe that would be quite an interesting experience.
Yes, in fact I do. I'll be starting as an intern around mid-July as a site reliability engineer at blockchain.com, a crypto company that operates a wallet and an exchange for cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin.
Yeah, I've got an internship starting on the 29th at Netcraft, which I'm really looking forward to. It's great to be able to get some experience working on actual projects in industry in a larger organization and just get a feel for how things are done. And I think the DRP project definitely goes a long way in helping us get ready for working on these kind of real-world projects. We've got a lot of experience setting up CI/CD pipelines and deploying our projects, and we've been able to actually interact and engage with our users. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm really looking forward to working at Netcraft over the summer.
I believe that the department had done a rather good job transitioning the lectures and laboratory sessions to an online format, especially given that this was done on such a short notice. At the beginning, I think things were maybe a bit disorganized, especially the online laboratory sessions. But after a while, it seemed that the department had a chance to adapt to a new style of working and also to listen to our feedback. So things are now going much more smoothly. And I also like how the lectures are still approachable even after transitioning to online learning, either through the clinic hours or through the Piazza online forum. I would personally say that transitioning to online learning was maybe a bit difficult at the beginning, since there were no designated real-time lectures or real-life laboratory sessions. But I would now say that it has been a relatively good experience.
I would say overall, this course has gone really well. My experience with both the online lectures and remote working has been great. Since all the lectures are uploaded online, I could watch them at my convenience while I was staying at home in Bangkok. Remote working has also gone very smoothly. Our teams used Microsoft Teams for communication, where we had daily meetings and discussions about our project. Our online user testing sessions also went generally very well, barring some small technical hiccups. We managed to receive tons of helpful feedback from our users that has helped us constantly improve our application. That being said, I do believe that meeting with our users in real life and seeing them interact with our apps would have been quite beneficial for both the dev team and the users themselves.
So I think things are going quite well overall. Personally, I'm quite happy not having to commute in every day to lectures. I think being able to watch them online in my own time is pretty great. Of course, that's something we can normally do anyway, thanks to Panopto. But yeah, I think it's going fairly smoothly. Questions get answered quickly on Piazza. I think I tend to work well like this in terms of just normal teaching. In terms of collaborating in a group on the project, it's been a great learning experience in developing these kind of remote collaboration skills. In our group, we've been using Microsoft Teams, meeting daily and discussing what we're working on and what needs to be done. Again, it's been okay overall, although I think being able to meet face-to-face, at least occasionally, would still be very valuable for this kind of work. We've also had some technical issues now and then. I remember on one day my internet connection just went down for a large part of the day and I couldn't join our team meetings. Thanks, TalkTalk. Mostly it's been fine though. Also, in terms of getting feedback from our users or even just having access to users, I think that's a pretty big downside of this remote working. And I think being able to do those kinds of feedback sessions face to face would have been much better, much more effective, but it's been okay, we've managed. So yeah, great learning experience overall, definitely had its advantages and disadvantages.